Sheer heresy. Number 3, the third part of this orthodoxy of our age. Home kitchens are unnecessary. Home kitchens are unnecessary. You know, we now are actually building residences with what's called a breakfast nook instead of a kitchen. You don't need a kitchen anymore. And now with cornstarch containers, you know, you can microwave your prepared meal, and then you know, for dessert, eat the box. And you know, it's the ultimate zero waste deal, right? But you know, there's this universal let others do the cooking. There's this universal abdication of the kitchen. You know, the latest statistic is that right now today, 49% of all meals in the U.S. are prepared outside the home. 49%. We're right at halfway. Half of all meals in the U.S. are prepared outside the home. 70% of Americans at 4 p.m. have no clue what's for dinner. But I'll bet they know the latest dysfunction in the Kardashian household. We have slowly eroded domestic culinary arts over the last several decades. We have eroded the domestic culinary arts, and we've replaced it with vacated kitchens. And the vacated kitchens are now showing up in places where we don't even have family meals. Young people grow up not even knowing how to pass food because we don't even eat together. You just graze when you're hungry, you know, and everybody's got single portions. And this develops into food ignorance. So we have a profound food ignorance in our culture. I mean, you know, 30 years ago, I'll be very sexist for a moment, 30 years ago, all of our customers knew how to cut up a chicken. All of our customers are women, by the way. We don't have any men customers. Men just open the refrigerator, look in and grunt and say, honey, I can't find it, and close the door. I mean, that's all men do. And what happened was, as we vacated the kitchen, you know, 35 years ago, you could not go to a supermarket and get a boneless, skinless breast. Today, 50% of our customers don't even know a chicken has bones. I mean, they think it's just a self-standing, Dino the dinosaur-shaped tissue, you know, that kind of, you know, flops around, and you just go out and pick it off the boneless, skinless tree. And so I perceive this. I do a lot of college speaking, and you would be surprised at the pushback today when people ask me, what's the first thing I can do to create integrity food? I just look at them and say, get in your kitchen. Right. And it's like, what? That's ridiculous. That's asking the impossible. You know, put down my People magazine long enough to read a recipe book? Are you crazy? You know? I mean, that's not even jazzy. It's not chic. It's not, you know, it's not cool. But heretics completely embrace the notion that home centricity is the foundation of integrity food. We live in a time where so many people think that everything will be just fine if those people over there would make better decisions. You know, it's finger-pointing time. You know, if those politicians would pass better laws, or if those lobbyists weren't down there, or if Monsanto would, you know, whatever, go away. really say what I think, but if those people would just no. The fact is that we are where we are because we've created what we've got. And there aren't any them and those and theys. It's just us. And we can sit here and get ulcers and pull our hair out, and you can see I've been pretty good at it. And we can get all sorts of bleed off our energy worrying about those, they, and them. And what this weekend is about self-empowerment and what we can do with our sphere of influence and our resource base. We need the heretics. What we promote is a rediscovering of participation and integration in food. And we speak the heresy that ultimately we cannot have an integrity food and farming system when we have so profoundly abdicated historical responsibilities on this most basic, intimate phase of human life. I mean, as a culture right now, we are far more concerned about the purity of the fuel in our automobile than we are the purity of the fuel in our bodies. You know, boy, you go down and get bad fuel, your car starts to, pick up and go, crazy. My goodness, people go crazy over that. But because you don't hiccup and go crazy with your first bite of impure food, there's a lag time. It comes on us gently and slowly. So we need to reinvent and incorporate the larder. Preparing, processing, packaging, and preserving food. And this does, and people immediately here to say, oh, you're wanting to, you Luddite, barbarian, Neanderthal, you want us to go back to, barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen with a washboard and a hearth cooking and a hoop skirt, The only people that sounds romantic to are the people that haven't done it. I'm talking about going boldly into the future with the techno-gadgetry adorning our domestic culinary arts today. I mean, just think what Grandma would have done with a faucet in the kitchen. I mean, we've got two now, cold water and hot water. Imagine that. You don't even have to get a bucket and go to the spring house and pour it in the side of the wood stove, that you got up early and made kindling and got a fire started so you can get hot water. I mean, man, Grandma would give her eye teeth for the things we got today. I mean, we've got slow cookers, we've got time bake, Cuisinart, make it, bake it, shake it. I mean, down here, they're making woks out of disc things. I mean, who'd have thought? We've got all sorts of cool techno-gadgetry today. We can ferment in kitchens. We can enjoy seasonal abundance. And you know what? Our larder can reconnect us with the spiritual principle that this earth is a place of abundance and not scarcity.
That's right.
And that is an orthodoxy of our day. That everything is scarce, that we're running out of everything, and we're creating a bunch of paranoid cultures that are willing to accept anything to help us with this paranoia of scarcity, when actually there's a lot of abundance out there that we can enjoy and participate in. Number 4, next point of orthodoxy. The U.S., the United States, has a divine dispensation that makes us immune from collapse. That we have been divinely appointed to go on forever and to not follow all the other civilizations into the ashes of history. That what we build will last forever. That what we do, we're just manifest destiny. We're special. The rules don't apply to us. We can borrow our way into luxury. And we can continue to deplete aquifers, and desertification won't happen here, even though the water tables are falling. And so we have this assumption that we can grow forever, and growth. There are a lot of ways to grow besides Wall Street. Cancer is a growth. Growth is not inherently good. Let me just mention some things that should not grow. Just so we are on the same page here. Maybe it would be good if diseases didn't grow. Look at all the diseases today. How many of you over 50 remember in your, till you were like 25 or 30, when we never even heard the word food allergy or gluten-free or Campylobacter, Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, autism. We didn't even hear those words. And now they're ubiquitous in our language. This is not a good thing. But it sure makes GDP grow. Look at all the hospitals and the doctors and the therapy we get helps us buy. Prisons. Wow, the new growth industry. Yesterday the AP had a story on that the Netherlands is having a major problem with their prisons. They don't have anybody to put in them. Boy, that's a real bummer. That's just going to destroy GDP. What a terrible place to live. A place that doesn't have anybody to put in their prisons. Debt. Do we really want to grow debt? Divorce rates. Dead zones. The U.S. now has 700 registered riparian dead zones. We are that successful. And those dead zones require a whole lot of remediation and economic activity to clean up messes. Wow, look at that growth. Invest in that company. Growth in desertification. Depleting aquifers. I was at a xeriscaping conference in Phoenix, speaking there, and I heard a speaker that's in the Water and Sewer Service Authority in Las Vegas. And she did a presentation and actually had economic spreadsheets on the value of a gallon of water in Las Vegas, whether that gallon of water goes into a hot tub in a casino suite or grows a head of cabbage. And the gallon of water in the hot tub, in a jacuzzi, in a casino suite, was worth like, $25. And if it grew a head of cabbage, that gallon of water was worth, 30 cents. Now, I don't want to debate the economics of it. What blew my mind was that there are actually people who do that kind of stuff. Who actually create economic values on that. Well, I guarantee you the Planning Commission, when they see the value of the water, guess what policy they're going to encourage? It's not going to be the head of cabbage.